Disaster hit Christchurch when the September 2010 and February 2011 earthquakes struck. More than 3 years on, and Mark Gibson says work in restoring our suburbs and communities is taking its toll on our leaders.
I've really noticed in the last month or two that a number of community leaders that I work closely with, that I highly respect and value, have suddenly hit the wall, having to take sick leave, they're off work, seeing their doctors on antidepressants.
When Mr Gibson says leaders, he means heads of groups and organisations across the board.
But I'm talking about people involved in local politics. I'm talking about people involved in organisations that have emerged since the earthquake, trying to lead creative new directions and bring about change in the city.
Last year, CTV spoke to Reverend Mike Coleman when he stepped down from his role as an advocate for WeCan. At the time, he said it was about being realistic with how much he could take on.
It's been 2.5 years since I started this job as spokesperson for WeCan, and a lot of people don't realise that I work full-time as a school counsellor, a high school teacher and an Anglican priest. And after doing so many emails every night for the last 2.5 years, you just realise that there's only so much you can do. And
Mark Gibson says he knows what it's like to reach the end of his tether.
At the end of last year, I was exhausted, and I suddenly realised that I needed to do something about it, or I may well have been one of the ones that hit the wall as well.
Mr Gibson says he'd like to see more support and resource given to community leaders.
I think every organisation needs to look at how they're staffing, whether they're understaffed, overstaffed, how they look after their staff better.
When we spoke to Mike Coleman in December, he admitted all his work was a labour of love.
WeCan doesn't have a bank account. I've done all this on voluntary time. I've spent my own money on everything I'm doing, so we've had nothing to gain out of this apart from really trying to do our best for people.
Mr Gibson says actions need to be taken before mental health issues arise. Patrick Phelps, CTV News.